Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Ooh, gotta eat something. Anyway, women check out everything about a man. Everything. And I'm capitalizing everything. And this is a follow-up to the video yesterday because, well, one thing I have to say, if you're watching any of my videos or anybody's videos, watch the whole thing. Because I had a couple guys say, well, they comment, looks matter. It's like, if you listen to the entire video, I didn't go against that. I said looks matter and I specifically said women check out everything about a man. But see, you had some people, they'll just see the title of something and think they know something. I've had quite a few people who they'll see the title and say, I already know what you're going to talk about. Then I said, why don't you check out the video? Then I'm talking about something totally different. Or, you know, their minds, they already have a bias towards what they think I'm talking about. I was like, no, why don't you listen? Like with yesterday, I specifically said the problem with the Looks Matters crew is they think it's just looks. Women look at everything, every single thing. Yes, they looking at looks, but they also looking at your damn hairstyle. They also looking at your clothes. And that's just the appearance. They also listening to the tone of your voice. They listening to that. They want to smell you. Women, and I even said in the video, yeah, some guys might think it's not fair, but hey, it is what it is. Women checking out everything. Women check out everything about a man, everything. And they can think a man looks good. Because I thought about this woman, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to get with her badly. And this woman, and she ended up becoming a doctor. I mean, she had it going on. Had the looks, the body, oh man. Everything. But, and I never forget what she said to me. I never forget. She said, you're handsome. But there was some other stuff she didn't have. I mean, she broke it down scientifically. She said, you got nice clavicles and you're handsome. And I was like, damn, well, hold up. She didn't want me. Yet there was another woman. She didn't think I was handsome. I've mentioned her several times. Yet she would have married me. She would have married me. See, understand something about women. Understand something. And you can't get past this. A particular woman, it depends on what they want. That's why I say just be your best and you're going to get rejected. See, some guys in the comments understood that. One brother who's always commenting, Brother Ken, he had said, yeah, women go crazy over a man's conversation. Another guy who's always commenting, he said it best. You can have everything physical, but a woman to go for a man who just made her laugh. And see, it's not anything you can do about it. Yeah, they checking out your face. They checking out your hair. They checking out everything. A woman is looking you up and down in 3 seconds. And there's no signs to whether a woman's going to want you or not. All you can do as a man is just be your best. Because a woman, she'll like something about you ain't even thinking about. Like the woman who I said didn't think I looked great, but probably would have married me. What she liked about me, I seemed family orientated to her. You know? Or oriented. Yeah, orientated. Well, whatever, y'all. Whatever. I know some people be tripping. But I was doing, she said, and she specifically said she liked me because I was shopping for my grandmother, and at the time I was coaching some young kids in soccer. She was more into the family. And really, when I think about her, that's all she would talk about. That's all she would do. All she wanted was a husband and 2 kids. They probably would have just been having cookouts every week. That's her. See, a woman, when she's looking at a man, it depends on what her needs are and what she wants. Shoot, even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I even said it. Sometimes you get some women, they on some, they want to fix a man up. They might skip over a man who look like he got everything together and get that man who look like he need a push. It depends on the woman. You get some women nurturing like that. The other woman, shoot, if you talk about the house of the woman, which I've talked about a few times, you might get a woman, she want that guy who's partying. Okay. Or she might want that guy who got a business going. He's on that hustle thing. Some women might want that guy who's more on the intellectual thing. Like I know this player, and he gets the women who looking at him more intellectually. They ain't as physically attracted to him, but he said, and this was actually an exercise done with him at like one of those seminars. Most of these women were looking at him because he came off as like more intellectual, more spiritual. Every woman, when she's looking at a man, she's looking at a bunch of stuff. She just don't look at one thing and say she gonna give him some. Like I said about that whole, like, even the looks thing. If that's all it took, there wouldn't be a such thing as a handsome man game. They would just have to be handsome. And even then, I said different women going to consider different men handsome. And they still might not want him. Shoot, even on that show, The Gift That Keep On Giving, the balloon pop show, there were a couple times women rejected the guy. They said he was too handsome. He looked too good. I even said that about myself. There was a woman who rejected me. She said, nah, you're a pretty boy. She liked rougher looking men. And specifically, she said my eyes and my skin were real smooth. Hell, some people still consider my skin smooth. I remember I put a picture on IG a few weeks ago. And some guy wanted to, it was a guy too. Go figure. It was a guy wanted to know what filters I use. I was like, I don't use no damn filters. I don't use a fucking filter. I don't even, it was like, whatever I got, that's what I got. But it's different. It's going to be different. Everybody's going to be different. It depends on the woman, what her needs are, what her social class is. Like, you might get, okay, like you get some guys talking about Chad and Tyrone, but if that woman living in a hood or a trailer park or a rough area, she'll skip over all those guys who look maybe too handsome. She'll go for that guy. If she's looking for a guy who's going to lay out a body for her, that's what she's going to get, regardless of how she look, or how he look rather. Regardless of how she look. There's a lot of stuff. See, that's why men got to understand that. Men, see, here's a major issue I'm seeing. A lot of men think it's some scientific, like, objective thing that a woman is going to want a particular man. Please. If they've dealt with enough women, each single woman got their own taste. They like what they like. I know a woman, the type of guy she like is definitely more on the intellectual thing. She's always gotten the guys that other people be like, him. Shoot, sometimes they'll say it. But anytime you see a woman with a particular man, you always have to ask yourself about that man. Like, I know this woman, like a lot of guys be trying to get with her. And I know, and I found out from the guy, because I'm real cool with the dude, guys always questioning it. But she got a ton of books at her spot. She got a ton of books. She's more into that intellectual type of man. And to even get her attention, shoot, you got to be talking about what books you've read. Because she's more intellectual herself. See, once again, if you talk about the house of the woman, what is it about the woman? Is she nurturing? If she's nurturing, she'll want a guy that she can nurture, or some guy who equals that. She might want a guy, like she wants to be that mommy figure. She might go for that guy she can either A, nurture, or that guy who's a father figure. Or she's more intellectual. She's more into reading. She's reading some books or something. She's going for that type of guy. There was a woman I dealt with, and BGS knows it. BGS knows it. We went out, had something to eat, had a good meal, but then we went right to a bookstore. And then after that, went right to the African American Museum down in D.C. But she was more intellectual. Oh, and if I do something, weather, y'all, weather. Anyway, but she was more in the intellectual stuff. You got to hit her on that. She likes to read, so you got to hit her on that. But then, if you get with like that party type of woman, she might want that guy who's going to party. She ain't going to be like, regardless of how he look. See, here's a problem. See, some guys think it's just looks. Yeah, they paying attention to that, but they looking at everything. They looking at the appearance, and they looking at overall appearance, overall. So yeah, they looking at the face, but then they also looking at the height. They looking at the body build. They're looking at his feet. They looking at his clothing style. They are looking at his clothing style. They looking at a lot of stuff. Shoot, you probably have a lot of... in fact, I knew this dude who... his nickname was Colt. That's how nerdy he was. And women say he was good looking. But at the time, he was a virgin. Now, he's in his 50s now. I hope he's still not a virgin. But... and women say, oh yeah, he looked good. But it was more. So it's like... yes, your appearance counts. Let's get that out. They looking at that. But then they want to check out your personality. So then it's like your personality and then your vibe. Women are big on vibe. How do they feel when they're around you? How do they feel? Do you give them the creeps or do they feel comfortable? They looking at all of that. And then socially, they might be looking at your social class. I remember, like anybody who's read my book, Nice Guys and Players, know I mentioned this guy, Jim. And, oh, he would tear up if he got online and started giving game. But I remember this woman was wondering why I was hanging around with him. But see, she was on some bougie stuff. Jim is more like he's a blue collar cat. He's more down to earth. But this bougie woman, she said, why are you hanging out with him? And I was like, shoot, grew up together, we cool. And plus, she didn't know me at the time. I can hang out with blue collar, I can hang out with bougie, I can do the levels. But she didn't know that about me. She just saw one level of me, but she didn't understand I can hang out with anybody. But see, she wouldn't give, I've met plenty of women. If you get like a bunch of bougie women, most of them ain't gonna mess with a blue collar dude, at least publicly, if he don't look a certain way. Or if he ain't behaving a certain way. Not even what he look like, he can be drop dead handsome. But if the woman ain't feeling him, or feeling like, oh yeah, he just on some lower class stuff, she might not mess with him. Or like this woman I always mention. I happened to see her picture. She came across my timeline, about to get married, a Christian young lady, hardcore Christian. Like I said, I used to mess with her because I would say, yeah, you getting that guy with tattoos. No, that guy she messed with gotta be like straight up, clean cut looking, like all the way around. And that's who she married. That dude got just a regular, plain haircut. He don't got locks. He don't got one of these hairstyles. If he got any tats, he sure as hell ain't showing them. But that's her. That's her. Every woman, see the thing, every man has to understand, every woman is going to have their preference. The best you can do is don't think, oh, well, I got to look like this to get a woman. First of all, like I said yesterday, different women are going to like different like faces any fucking way. It's going to look good to them. It's nothing objective. And yeah, it matters, but then, like I said, everything else matters. Shoot, even what you do for a living, even having an education. Because I've known some women, if you ain't have like, not just a degree, but double degrees, like a advanced degree, they ain't messing with you. Seriously. And what I said yesterday, I ain't, some men might say, well, ain't fair. Oh, well, it is what it is. Many women would say it ain't fair that a man don't want to deal with a woman, she put on some weight or she hit that wall. It is what it is. And I remember a joke when I was young, and at the time, I ain't liked the joke, but now I understand it. When I was younger, they would say, like, a man's preferences might be one thing in a woman, or a few things, while women have a big old checklist. That's just how they are. It ain't gonna change. And they be looking at shit you ain't even thinking about. Like, I remember there was a woman looking at my fingernails. She was looking to see if I was like one of those like blue collar, like get my fingers dirty type of dudes. That's what she happened to like. It is what it is. See, one thing, you can't be pressed about it. Only thing a man can do, only thing really, is just, he don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't try to really do anything other than just be your best. Get the haircuts you like. I would say in general, just be clean. In general, just be clean. And even then, there's some women, they'll go for a dirty motherfucker. They will go for a dirty motherfucker for whatever reason. But then that's in the woman. In fact, one of the secrets, I can tell everything about a woman. All I had to do is either A, ask her what type of men she like, or B, see what type of men she go for. And then I know everything about her. Like this one woman who just she loves guys who probably wouldn't be considered that attractive. But the thing she liked about them was they were all intellectual. Remember I said that. Those were the guys she always went for. And I've known several women. Like even this woman I had mentioned earlier who goes for, my friend is like, he's more on the intellectual thing. He likes to read. But like I said, been over at her spot, and she got books all over the place, like on top of each other. She liked to read. She liked that. You can tell everything about a woman. Or even if you get some women go for quote unquote bad boys, or somebody who got it there, there's something in that woman that likes it. See, that's one thing with women. And I haven't seen this to fail yet. But that's just how they are. They look at everything. See, a man, he can't just focus on one thing and think he's going to just get the woman. Because even when I've talked about body game, I said, man, that's just the base. That's really just for you to feel good about yourself. And yeah, you get some women going to check you out for your body and everything. But that's just to get them over there. They still listening to how you talk. They still listening to your voice tone. Shoot, there was a woman I remember. I was trying to holler at her. And this was when I was younger. And she just wasn't feeling me. But I found out she just didn't like my voice tone. Women checking out everything. Don't think they just look at one thing. And see, you get some guys, they'll say that to another guy, but here's two things. One, that guy ain't getting no play anyway. He trying to tell some other guys, these other guys ain't getting anything, and they ain't thinking about it. Now, if you really like work on what you have, and even think about what you do for a hobby, like if a man wanted to meet a woman, I would say work on your hobbies, then go where they're going to be. Like I always go, like to the comic book shop I go to. It's getting to the point where every time I go in there, there's some women. Every single time. It's gotten to that point. Now, if they like comic books, if you a guy who likes comic books, you in there, boom, there you go. And y'all immediately got something to talk about. Or you might just be like that guy who like to bowl. You like to go bowling. All right, you go to the bowling alley. You see some women there. They bowling. They having fun bowling. Boom. You get that strike. They probably a couple lanes over looking. They be like, oh, wait a minute. Because that's the thing with women. They be looking at everything. Yes, they looking at your appearance. Definitely get your appearance up. Now, let me be clear on that. Yes, looks matter, but it's not the only thing. Now, if somebody come on here and say that, so it's just looks, they stupid as shit, I will delete the comments. I don't like stupidity. Understand something. I'm a 60-year-old man. I done seen what works and don't work, okay? The thing is, as a man, the only thing that you got that's always going to work is you always fix yourself up to your best and then see who's down for it. Because every woman ain't going to be down for it. But, as this young man said, shoot, every man can get about 10 women. Every single man. Every single man. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I know some young men who are on the spectrum. They getting women. I mean, come on. Seriously. They on the autism spectrum. And they still getting women. There's always a woman somewhere. There's always somebody, no matter what you have, what you doing, that's what you going to get, no matter what you do. Now, at best, you still want to fix up so you can get more. You can have more options. But you're going to get somebody. Ain't like these women ain't robots. It'd be a whole lot easier if they all went for the same type of man. It'd be 1,000 times easier. But that ain't the case. Every woman got their type. Every woman got something. And like I said, you can find out a lot about a woman. You talk to her, find out what she wants, or even see what she go for. That'll tell you everything about the woman. That will tell you everything. See, men, only difference with men is as long as she look good or something. And see, that's another thing. Don't project on to women what guys do. Yeah, we don't give a shit beyond looks. As a group, especially younger men, but then that's why a lot of men get in trouble. But women, they looking at looks, but they also smelling you. They also listening to you. They also seeing what your social class is. They feeling how they feel around you. They paying attention to all of that. Indeed, that's why some men, they can get that like woman and they think they doing something, have everything going on, and she reject a man off of something small. Well, small to the man, to the woman is something major. And that's the thing to remember. That's the thing to remember. As a man, you wanna hit on all cylinders. In fact, I'm very clear about that in my book, Nice Guys and Players. Because I talk about how different categories of men can improve themselves to become a real man. Sure, you don't want to be that man who's just one-dimensional. Because you could probably get some women that way, but you might not like what you get. You want to like increase your options. And if you want to increase your options, the more you have going on for you, the better. I want y'all to think about that. Anyway, got to pull in here, get some vittles. Oh, man. Ooh, nice car. Yeah, I'm pulling next to this Chrysler. Anyway, y'all, remember, women checking out everything. It is, and it is what it is. Don't get mad about it. Don't think if you do one thing. And I'll put it like this. If you think it's just one thing, or whether you just think, oh, it's just looks, or even if you just think it's just a mouthpiece, is that working for you? Is that working for you? Seriously, that's the thing. Because one thing I've noticed is a lot of guys, they'll say something, and it's like, it's not working for them. That's the main thing. Is it working for you? Now, the more you have, the better. All right? So anyway, y'all, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.